Warning, you are entering a redneck area. You may encounter American flags, armed citizens, the Lord's Prayer, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and country music. Enter at your own risk. Please subscribe, like, and share.
Well, hello everybody, this is Richard Danis coming to you for Street Team News. Kid Rock, Robert James Ritchie, Sr., born January 17th, 1971, better known for his stage names Kid Rock and Bobby Shazam, is an American songwriter, rapper, disc jockey, musician, record producer, and even an actor. In a career spanning over 30 years, Rock's musical style alternates between rock, hip-hop, and country. A multi-instrumentalist, he has overseen his own production on 9 of his 11 studio albums. Kid Rock started his professional music career as a self-taught rapper and DJ, releasing his debut album, Grits Sandwiches for Breakfast. Wow, I just got hungry. In 1990, on Jive Records, his own independent releases, the Polyfuse Method, 1993, and Early Morning Stoned Pimp, 1996, saw him developing a more distinctive style, which was fully realized on his 1998 album, Devil Without a Cause. In 1998, his breakthrough album, which sold 14 million copies, Devil Without a Cause, and his subsequent album, Cocky 2001, were noted for blending elements of hip-hop, country, rock, and heavy metal. Starting with his 2010 album, Born Free, which I love that album, and especially that song, the country music style has dominated his musical direction. He has not rapped on his albums since 2003 album Kid Rock, with the exception of one track each on Rock and Roll Jesus in 2007 and Sweet Southern Sugar. Now, Kid Rock was born, like I said, Robert James Ritchie, January 17th, 1971 in Romeo, Michigan. He is a Republican. He was married to Pamela Anderson in 2006 and divorced in 2007. One child, Jill Ritchie, relatives, is his sister. Music career, rock, hip-hop, country, rap, rock, and new metal. Occupation, singer-songwriter, rapper, disc jockey, multi-instrumentalist, and actor. Instruments that he plays, vocals, guitar, piano, drums, turntables. The labels that he has been with, Broken Bow, Warner Brothers, Lava, Atlantic, and Jive. Now, as I stated, Kid Rock was born in Romeo, Michigan, to the father of William Ritchie, owner of multiple car dealerships, and his mother, Susan Ritchie. Ritchie's father owned a 6-acre estate, 5,628 square foot home where Ritchie grew up, regularly helping his family pick up apples and caring for their horses. In the 1980s, Ritchie became interested in hip-hop, began a breakdance, and taught himself how to rap and DJ while performing in talent shows in and around the Detroit area. A self-taught musician, Ritchie plays every instrument in his backing band. Now, in his early career signing with Jive Records, Kid Rock began his professional music career as a member of the hip-hop music group The Beast Crew in the late 1980s. During this time, he met rapper D-Nice. The relationship would eventually lead him to becoming the opening act at a local shows for Boogie Down Productions. During this time, Kid Rock began a professional association with producer Mike E. Clark, who after some time and some initial skepticism with the idea of a white rapper, found himself impressed with Kid Rock's energetic and well-received performance, where the artist, using his own turntables and equipment, actually prepared his own beats to demonstrate his skills for Clark. In 1988, Clark produced a series of demos with Kid Rock, and that eventually led to offers from 6 major record labels, including Atlantic and CBS Records. In 1989, Kid Rock became a shareholder in an independent record label that was formed by Alvin Williams and Earl Blunt, EB brand productions, called Top Dog Records. Later, that investment would become 25% ownership at stake. Now, with the help of D-Nice, Kid Rock signed with Jive Records at the age of 17 years old, releasing his debut studio album, Grits Sandwiches for Breakfast, in 1990. According to the Kid Rock, and contract with Jive Records resulted in anonymously from fellow rapper Vanilla Ice, who Kid Rock claimed felt that he should have been signed with Jive instead of Kid Rock. The album made Kid Rock one of the 2 biggest rap stars in Detroit in 1990, along with local independent rapper Isham. To promote the album, Kid Rock toured nationally with Ice Cube, D-Nice, Yo-Yos, and Too Short. Now, Detroit artist Champtown served as Kid Rock's DJ on his tour. During the in-store promotions for the album, Kid Rock met and developed a friendship with local rapper Eminem, who frequently challenged Kid Rock to a rap battle. Ultimately, unfavorably, comparisons to Vanilla Ice led to a Jive dropping Kid Rock, according to Mike E. Clark. Now, signing with the Count Neum Records and Polyfuse Method in 1992 through 1995. In 1992, Kid Rock signed with a local independent label. Around this time, Kid Rock met the local hip-hop duo, or hop duo, Insane Clown Posse, through Mike E. Clark, who was producing the duo at the time. Now, while ICP member Violent J disliked Kid Rock's music, he wanted the rapper to appear on ICP's debut album, Carnival of Carnage, believing the appearance would gain ICP notice since Kid Rock was a nationally successful artist. Noting that local rapper Isham was paid $500 to appear on ICP's album, Violent J claims that Kid Rock demanded $600 to record his guest appearance, alleging that Isham and Kid Rock had a feud over who was the bigger rapper. Kid Rock showed up to record the song Is That You, intoxicated, but recorded his vocals and recording scratching the following day. In 1993, Kid Rock recorded his second studio album, The Polyfuse Method, with producer Mike E. Clark, who worked with Kid Rock to help him and give the album more of a rock-oriented sound than his debut album. Kid Rock also began releasing his bootleg cassette series to keep local interest in his music, and then later on in the year, Kid Rock recorded the EP Fire It Up at White Room Studios in downtown Detroit, run by brothers Michael and Andrew Nera, who were forming the rock soul band Robert Bradley's Blackwater Surprise. I don't know if you guys remember them. The EP featured the heavy rock song I Am the Bulldog and a cover of Hank Williams Jr.'s country song, A Country Boy Can Survive, which everybody knows, about that one. That one just blew through the roof. By 1994, Kid Rock's live performance had mostly been backed by DJs Blackman and Uncle Kracker, but Kid Rock soon began to utilize more and more live instrumentation into his performances and formed the rock band Twisted Brown Trucker. After breaking up with his girlfriend, Kid Rock moved engineer Bob Ebeling into his apartment. During a recording session with Mike E. Clark, the producer discovered that Kid Rock could sing when he recorded a rework cover, Billy Joel's It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. And you guys probably remember that one also. That was entitled It's Still East Detroit to Me, with Clark claims that led him to encourage Kid Rock to sing even more. Now, during this time, Kid Rock developed animosity towards other Detroit artists, including Insane Clown Posse, according to Mike E. Clark, who worked with both artists. Kid Rock was frustrated with ICP's local success, as Kid Rock disliked ICP's music and wanted to become more successful than ICP. Through intensive promoting, which he's always done. Kid Rock has always done massive promoting, including distributing tapes on consignment to local stores and giving away free samplers of his music. Kid Rock developed a following among an audience with DJ Uncle Kracker, which also performed with Kenny Chesney. He is described as white kids who dropped acid and liked listening to gangsta rap. This following included local rapper Joe C., who had been attending Kid Rock concerts as a fan, but upon meeting Kid Rock was invited to perform on stage as Kid Rock's hype man. Kid Rock's stage presence became honed with an addition of a light show and pyrotechnics, dancers, and a bunch of lights in the background bearing the name of Kid Rock. And in 1996 saw the release of his most rock-oriented album to date, Early Morning Stone Pimp. The album's title came from Bob Eberling, who told a sleepless, alcoholic, drug-using Kid Rock, "Dude, you're an early morning stone pimp." According to Kid Rock, who distributed the album himself, Early Morning Stone Pimp sold 14,000 copies, all on his own. Kid Rock developed his stage persona performing dressed in 1970s pimp clothing with a real possibly loaded gun down the front of his pants. Though Kid Rock became known for frequent partying and using drugs and alcohol, he was primarily focused on increasing his fame and placing himself as a businessman first. The result of this drive led to increased success locally. Now, signing with Atlantic Records, Devil Without a Cause, and natural success in 1997 through 2000, Kid Rock's attorney Tommy Valentino increased his stature by helping him get articles written about Kid Rock and Twisted Brown Trucker in major publications, including the Beastie Boys' Grand Royal magazine. But though his management tried to interest local record labels in the music, they told his management team that they were not interested in signing with a white rapper. Boy, what a mistake that was, huh? So he's not a white, this is what Valentino says to him. He says, he's not a white rapper, he's a rock star and everything in between. And I'll bet you those people are around really now bumming. In 1997, Jason Flom, head of Lava Records, attended one of Kid Rock's performances and met with Kid Rock, who later gave him a demo containing the songs Somebody's Gotta Feel This. And I got one for you, which led Kid Rock signing with Atlantic Records. As part of his recording deal, Kid Rock received $150,000 from the label. By this time, Kid Rock had fully developed his stage persona and musical style and wanted to make a redneck, shit-kicking rock and roll rap album, resulting in his fourth studio album, Devil Without a Cause, recorded at the White Room in Detroit and mixed in a room here in Los Angeles. Through extensive promoting, including appearances on 1999 MTV VMA, including a performance alongside Aerosmith and Run DMC, and performing at Woodstock in 1999, Devil Without a Cause sold 14 million copies. The album's success spurred by Kid Rock's breakthrough hit single. In 2000, Kid Rock was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best New Artist, despite having been active in the music industry for over 10 years. Kid Rock's success, however, is marked by tragedy with the death of a friend and collaborator, Joe C. In May 2000, Kid Rock released a compilation album, his history of rock, behind the single American Badass. The song sampled Metallica's 1991 song Sad But True. Peaking at number 20 on the mainstream rock chart, Kid Rock would now join Metallica along with Korn and System of a Down. Kid Rock and Jonathan Davis filled in on vocals for an injured James Hetfield in Atlanta on July 7th, 2000. The Kid Rock performed American Badass along with Metallica classics Sad But True, Nothing Else Matters, Fuel and Entered the Sandman, along with covers of Turn the Page and Fortunate Son. Now, the history of rock was certified a double platinum, and Kid Rock embarked on the 2000s history of rock in 2001's American Badass tours. American Badass was nominated for the Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance in 2001, losing out to Rage Against the Machine's Guerrilla Radio. His song with Robert Bradley Higher was featured on a TV spot for Gatorade. In 1999, Kid Rock made his voice acting debut in an episode of The Simpsons. In the episode Kill an Alligator and Run, playing himself alongside Joe C., Kid Rock also appeared in the comedy film Joe Dirt, starring David Spade. Kid Rock was in a live-action animated film, Osmosis Jones, voicing a bacterial cell version of himself named Kidney Rock. Kid Rock and Joe C. had also recorded the song Cool Daddy Cool for the film's soundtrack album before Joe C.'s death. In November, Kid Rock released his fifth studio album, Cocky. The album became a hit, spurred by the crossover's success of the single Picture, a country ballad featuring Sheryl Crow, which introduced Kid Rock to his wider audience and was ultimately the most successful single on the album. I had the honor of being in the studio while they were recording that album, actually. In support of the album, Kid Rock performed on the Cocky Tour in 2002 and opened up for Aerosmith with Run DMC on the Girls of Summer Tour during his period. Uncle Kracker began his solo career full-time. He was replaced underground Detroit rapper Paradigm. In 2001, Kid Rock filed a lawsuit to gain full control over Top Dog record label, resulting in his receiving full ownership of the label in 2003. In 2002, though, Kid Rock covered ZZ Top's Legs to serve as WWE diva Stacy Keibler's theme song. It also appeared on the album WWF Forcible Entry. The same year, Kid Rock performed alongside Chuck D and Grandmaster Flash in tribute to slain DJ Jam Master Jay. In 2003, also, we saw the release of Kid Rock's self-titled sixth album, which shifted his music further away from hip-hop. The lead single was a cover of Bad Company's "Feel Like Making Love," and that was a great song too. I mean, we just loved that. The same year, Kid Rock contributed to the tribute album "I've Always Been Crazy," a tribute to Waylon Jennings, honoring the late country singer by covering the song "Lukenbach, Texas" in collaboration with country singer Kenny Chesney. In 2004, he performed at the Super Bowl halftime show in a controversial appearance that spurred criticism from veterans of foreign wars and Senator Zell Miller, where wearing the American flag with one slit in the middle as a poncho. Kid Rock was accused of desecrating the flag. Kid Rock also appeared on the track "My Name Is Robert Tattoo" on American blues artist R.L. Brunswick's final studio album. In September 2005, Kid Rock filled in for Johnny Van Zant, the lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, on the band's hit "Sweet Home Alabama" at the Hurricane Katrina benefit concert. That was awesome too. I remember that when that happened. In 2006, Kid Rock stopped displaying the Confederate flag at his concerts. The following year, Kid Rock released his seventh studio album, Rock and Roll Jesus, which was the first release to chart at number one on Billboard 200, selling 172,000 copies in the first week. Isn't that amazing? And going on to sell over 500 million copies after that. In July 2007, Kid Rock was featured on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine for the second time in his career. The album's third single, All Summer Long, became a global hit, utilizing a mashup of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Sweet Home Alabama and Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London. In 2008, Kid Rock recorded and made a music video for the song Warrior for a National Guard advertising campaign, and I remember seeing that. Now, continued in recording and controversies, 2010 and onward. In 2010, Kid Rock released his country-oriented 8th studio album, Born Free, which I just loved, produced by Rick Rubin and featuring guest appearances by Sheryl Crow and Bob Seger. In 2011, Kid Rock was honored by the NAACP, which sparked protests stemming from his past display of the Confederate flag at his concerts. During the ceremony, Kid Rock elaborated on his display of the flag, stating, "I never flew the flag in hate of my heart. I love America. I love Detroit. I love black people." Kid Rock's publicist announced that 2011 was the year of official distancing himself from that flag. The following year, Kid Rock performed alongside Trevor McCoy and The Roots in honor of the Beastie Boys during the band's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2012, also saw the release of Kid Rock's 9th studio album, Rebel Soul. He said that he wanted the album to feel like a greatest hits album, but with new songs. One of the songs on the album, Gucci Glory, introduced Kid Rock's alter ego, Bobby Shazman. In 2013, Kid Rock performed on the Best Night Ever tour, where he mentioned to charge no more than $20 for his tickets. The following year, he moved to Warner Brothers Records, releasing his own album on the label First Kisses, which he self-produced. Subsequently, after leaving Warner Brothers, Kid Rock signed with the country label Broken Bow Records out of Nashville, Tennessee on Music Row. In 2015, following the Charleston church shooting, the Michigan chapter of the National Action Network protest outside of the Detroit Historical Museum, which honored Kid Rock, activists urged Kid Rock to renounce the Confederate flag. Kid Rock wrote in an email to Fox News Channel host Megyn Kelly, stating that, "Please tell the people who are protesting to kiss my booty." The same day, National Action Network protest Chevrolet for sponsoring Kid Rock's tour. On July 12th of 2017, Kid Rock shared a photo of Kid Rock for U.S. Senate yard sign on Twitter. Do you remember that? However, he denied that he was running, citing his upcoming album release and tour. He later clarified that the campaign was a hoax. He donated $122,000 raised by selling Kid Rock for U.S. Senate merchandise to a voter registration group. Also in July, he released 2 singles from his next album, Podunk and Greatest Show on Earth, both released on the same day. In November of that year, he released his 11th studio album, Sweet Southern Sugar. The same year, he also saw Kid Rock publicly advocate measures against the ticket scalpers at his shows by making tickets more affordable for fans. Instead of getting paid for the show, he gets a percentage of the concessions and ticket sales. In November of 2017, Kid Rock fired his publicist, Kirk Webster, after Webster was accused of sexual misconduct. On December 22nd, 2017, Kid Rock was sued by Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, which closed 7 months earlier, for using their slogan, Greatest Show on Earth, as the name of his 2018 tour. After the lawsuit, Kid Rock changed the tour's name to American Rock and Roll Tour. In January 2018, the National Hockey League announced Kid Rock as a headlining entertainer for their January 28th All-Star Game, sparking negative online responses from hockey fans. Now, hockey player Jeremy Roenick praised the choice of the condemned Kid Rock critics, saying, "Kid Rock is the most talented musician I think on the planet, because you can put any instrument in that man's hand or in his mouth and you can play anything and rock the house and sing and in any genre at all whatsoever. It was also announced that in March 2018, Kid Rock would perform on Lynyrd Skynyrd's final tour before the Southern rock band retired alongside Hank Williams Jr., Bad Company, the Marshall Tucker Band, and 38 Special. Kid Rock released his greatest hits album, titled Greatest Hits You Never Saw Coming, on September 21st, 2018. Now, on March 29th, 2020, Kid Rock released his first single under the name DJ Bobby Chasman, entitled Quarantine, which featured an old school hip hop sound. The artist stated all proceeds from the singles would go to that particular cause. Now, also, Kid Rock has opened up his own club in Nashville now, Kid Rock's Honky Tonk, that is on Broadway. Kid Rock's music is noted for its electric sound, which draws from genres such as hip-hop, rap, rock, rap metal, hard rock, heavy metal, southern rock, country, new metal, blues, funk, and soul. Kid Rock's music has been described by Pitchfork as a cross between Run DMC, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and AC/DC. MTV compared Kid Rock's songs I Am the Bulldog and Roving Gangster Rollin' to a cross between Alice in Chains and Public Enemy No. 1. Kid Rock's debut album Grits Sandwiches for Breakfast featured a straightforward hip-hop sound, with the recording on his follow-up album Polyfuse Method. Kid Rock began to future more of a rap song sound. Now, the album served as crossroads between his hip-hop and rock career, still maintaining a strong hip-hop sound while beginning Kid Rock's use of rock and roll and country music influences. Now, this is all a bunch of really great stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying this here. This is really cool. Now, in his personal life, in the 8th grade, Robert James Ritchie began a 10-year on and off relationship with a named Kelly South Russell. In summer of 1993, Russell gave birth to Ritchie's son, Robert James Ritchie Jr. While living with her, the two raised 3 children, but Ritchie discovered that one of them was not his, which led to the couple splitting up in 1993. Ritchie raised his son as a single father. In both March 1991 and September 1997, Ritchie faced misdemeanor charges stemming from alcohol-related arrests in Michigan. In 2000, Rolling Stone reported that Ritchie was dating model Jamie King, and Ritchie began dating Pamela Anderson in 2001. Now, they became engaged in 2002, but ended their relationship in 2003. In 2005, Ritchie was charged with assaulting a DJ in a strip club. In 2006, Ritchie married Anderson. On November 10th of 2006, it was announced that Anderson, who had been pregnant with Ritchie's second child, had miscarried. 17 days later, on November 27th, 2006, Anderson filed for divorce from Ritchie, citing irreconcilable differences. Ritchie later claimed that the divorce was due to Anderson's openly criticizing his mother and sister in front of his son. In 2006, California pornographic film company Red Light District attempted to distribute a 1999 sex tape in which Kid Rock and Scott Tapp, singer of the band Creed, are seen partying and receiving, Hummers from groupies. Both Rock and Stapp filed with the California courts to sue the pornographers to stop the tape's distribution. The following year, Ritchie was physically fought with Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee, another former spouse of Anderson's, at the 2007 Video Music Awards, and was charged with assault. A month later, Ritchie was arrested and charged with battery after fighting with a Waffle House customer. He pleaded no contest to one count and was fined $1,000, required to perform 80 hours of community service and complete a 6-hour course on anger management. In 2014, Ritchie became a grandfather with his son's girlfriend, gave birth to a daughter, Sky. Regarding politics, Ritchie is a Republican, stating that he has socially liberal views on abortion and gay marriage, but physically conservative views on economics. Ritchie has advocated legalizing and taxing marijuana, cocaine, and heroin. Ritchie has also stated that I don't think crazy people should have guns. Ritchie was also a vocal supporter of American military involvement in the Iraq War. Ritchie has met Presidents Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump while in office. Regarding his political views, Ritchie said that I have friends everywhere, Democrat, Republican. We're all human beings first, Americans second. Let's find some common ground and get along, while also stating in the same interview he wanted to body slam some of the Democrats. Ritchie supported Bill Clinton and George Bush during their presidencies. In 2008, Ritchie supported newly elected President Barack Obama, saying that the president's election was a great thing for black people. In 2012, Ritchie campaigned for the Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. The candidate used Ritchie's song Born Free as the campaign theme. In 2015, Ritchie publicly endorsed Ben Carson for the Republican nomination for President of the United States. And in 2016 election, in February 2016, he voiced approval for Donald Trump's campaign for the same office. In September, Kid Rock was criticized for allegedly saying, "Screw Colin Kaepernick," during a live performance of his song Born Free. And in December, Kid Rock sparked controversy for selling vulgar t-shirts supporting Trump at concerts, including one showing a map of the United States, which labeled the states with had voted against Trump as dumb. I can't say the word. On July 12, 2017, Ritchie shared a photo of Kid Rock for U.S. Senate yard sign on Twitter. He also launched a website, kidrockforsenate.com, which sold merchandise bearing the inscription. Several weeks later, he wrote a post on the blog stating that he was still exploring my candidacy. I don't get that because it was supposed to be a hoax. And that whether or not he ran, he wanted registered people to vote, because although people are unhappy with the government, too few are even registered to vote or do anything about it. He added that he wanted to help working class people in Michigan and America, while still calling out these jackbutts lawyers who call themselves politicians. His statements sparked media speculation that he would try to run for the Republican ticket against sitting Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow, as well as the enthusiasm from some prominent Republicans, including former New York Governor George Pataki, who wrote on Twitter, "Kid Rock is exactly the kind of candidate GOP needs right now." In October 2017, in an interview with Howard Stern, Ritchie put an end to that speculation, saying that he had never intended to run for Senate, adding that it was just a hoax. Now, who could figure that out? He later clarified that the campaign was a joke, and he had started after Michigan state legislator encouraged him to run for Senate. He expressed surprise at the interest as his potential candidacy had received, because a lot of people actually stood up and said, "Yeah, go for it, do it, kid, do it," but also disappointed that some opposed his candidacy had brought his previous use of the Confederate flag to label him as a racist. He donated $122,000 that he had raised by selling Kid Rock for U.S. Senate merchandise to voter registration groups. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this. I am Richard Danis, coming to you from Los Angeles, California, and Nashville, Tennessee. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you the next time around. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for all the latest updates and news. Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Upchurch Street Team Radio is a Richard Danis production. Please subscribe, like, and share.